The league has announced that the initial games for each team will commence in mid-May. The season's opening match will feature the Atlanta Dream against the Washington Mystics on May 16, while the Lynx will compete against the Dallas Wings. The Golden State Valkyries will host their first game at home against the Los Angeles Sparks. Meanwhile, the Indiana Fever will begin their season with a high-profile matchup against Reese's Sky on Saturday, May 17, providing fans with their first look at Rookie of the Year Clark. After several lengthy seasons of the narrative focusing on Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark, there is now another competitor emerging. Although Clark and Reese have faced off since their college basketball days, this rivalry has taken on new dimensions in the WNBA. As the Fever's point guard made more rivalries in the professional league, there is one player whose collegiate statistics rival hers. And that player is not Reese. It is true that the two athletes have different roles and playing styles. While both excel offensively, Clark is known for her scoring ability, along with other contributions, while Reese excels in rebounds and assists. However, Chennedy Carter from the Chicago Sky is noted to be comparable to the Iowa Star, according to a recent report. iTalkHoops shared on X, Chennedy Carter and Caitlin Clark are the only two WCBB players in the past 15 seasons to average 30 points per game over multiple NCAA tournament runs, with a minimum of 3 games played. Carter played for the Texas A&M Aggies but was 4 years ahead of the current WNBA Roddy. While number 22 was starting college, Carter was entering the WNBA with the Atlanta Dream. Although the rivalry between Reese and Clark on the court has been relatively amicable, many recall Carter shoulder-checking Clark during an early Sky Fever game this season. This flagrant foul clearly established the tone for the remainder of 2024 as the Indy Star encountered an increasing number of foul incidents on the court. However, none of these incidents were related to Carter, who has sparked online speculation regarding her conflict with Clark, starting with her comments on X after ESPN placed Clark above her among the WNBA's 25 best players. The 6 featuring Indiana guard received a ranking of 15th, while the Sky guard was ranked 24th. How do I average fewer minutes and still top the league in my stats? Yet I am ranked at the bottom. This doesn't make sense, the bias is so evident, she posted. FG, field goal, percentage as well. Before this, Carter had also selected favorites from the Reese and Clark partnership. 3 guesses as to whom she favored. The story of Caitlin Clark drawing attention to the sport with a limited level of talent is one that Chennedy Carter seems to endorse. While her statistics indicate one perspective, frustrated players in the league express another. When the flagrant foul took place in June, the Sky player declined to answer any inquiries during the post-conference. However, she later took to Instagram threads to react to a fan, clearly unfazed. Besides three-point shooting, what else does she contribute, man? Carter wrote. In another post, the former Texas star commented about teammate Angel Reese, "My dogfish show, got all my teammates." Back in September, the Indiana Fever appointed Kelly Krauskopf as their president of basketball and business operations. Krauskopf was the Fever president and general manager from 2000 to 2018, during which the Fever secured 3 conference titles in the 2012 WNBA championship, before leaving to take a position with the Indiana Pacers as an assistant general manager. Now Krauskopf has returned to the Fever at a thrilling time for not only her franchise but also the entire WNBA. In addition to the significant growth that women's basketball has seen in 2024, the league is set to introduce 3 expansion teams over the next 2 years, including the Golden State Valkyries, whose expansion draft results will be announced on December 6. Naturally, other WNBA teams, apart from Golden State, also need to prepare and make crucial roster decisions to adapt to the new expansion team. CBS Sports reporter Jack Maloney inquired with several WNBA executives about how they are managing the expansion process for a December 3 article. Expansion drafts aren't always beneficial for those of us aiming for a deep bench, Krauskopf stated in the article. On the other hand, it's an opportunity if you're innovative. Krauskopf noted that teams having players selected from must be ready for circumstances to replace the player who may be chosen. She also utilized draft compensation previously as a strategy to keep an additional player safe from being selected in an expansion draft. Therefore, trades involving Golden State represent a way for WNBA teams to apply the creativity Krauskopf referenced. Later, Krauskopf commented regarding the Valkyries, "When you're starting anew, you need to consider what your main priority is. Is it a point guard, center, or does everyone have a different perspective? Or is it simply the best player? I'm not in their position, but I recognize they have intelligent individuals managing their organization. WNBA fans should know by Friday night which Fever players Krauskopf in the front office likely chose to protect, and which 2024 player will be joining the Valkyries next season. In an incident that divided WNBA fans, the league unintentionally revealed the name of its upcoming Toronto franchise set to launch in 2026. While browsing the league's website on Wednesday, basketball fans noticed a drop-down menu listing all current teams, including the unexpected addition of the Toronto Tempo. The initial discovery generated a slow build-up that rapidly spread on social media, with fans flocking to the site to take screenshots before the league removed the entry. Once the section vanished after a few hours, the impact, excitement, or surprise was already established. Speculation quickly ensued, with WNBA fans debating whether the leak was a deliberate hint or an accidental disclosure. Logos circulating online added to the intrigue, although fans couldn't discern if they were official designs, fan creations, or AI-generated illustrations. The league maintained silence throughout the day regarding the incident, which fueled even more theories. As they remained silent, fans speculated whether Tempo was a temporary name, a discreet test to gauge public reaction, or an early exposure of a closely guarded secret. The uncertainty concluded on Thursday morning when the WNBA officially revealed the Toronto Tempo as the league's latest franchise in a tweet showcasing the team's logo. The design bore similarities to the Indiana Pacers branding but featured a light blue and red color scheme reminiscent of the Toronto Blue Jays. Pacers fans promptly pointed this out online. Team president Teresa Resch commented on the error, "Well, nothing ever goes as planned. But yes, we would have liked to have our merchandise ready and be able to roll that all out at once. However, we're still very excited to share the name, logo, and colors." One fan remarked, "Interesting name. Excited to see how they support the team. If it's anything like the Raptors, the WNBA has a great new fan base." Another added, "Definitely will be attending a game. Still undecided on that name. I'm sure it will grow on me." A Pacers fan humorously stated, "Stole our whole flow." Regardless of fan responses, Toronto has been a top candidate for WNBA expansion for years and has now become the league's first international team. The name Tempo suggests a stylistic identity the franchise will adopt on the court, according to the team's initial press release. In a tweet from the team's official X account, they explained that Tempo is important because it represents the heartbeat of competition and the unseen force that influences a game's outcome. For the city of Toronto, this development provides the region with a team after 27 years. It took the NBA's Toronto Raptors franchise 78 years to become part of the league in 1995, which was just 2 seasons prior to the WNBA's first season in 1997. For the WNBA, the addition of Toronto is part of its broader initiative to grow into multiple markets in the coming years. The Golden State Valkyries will play their inaugural season in 2025, with a team in Portland anticipated to join the Tempo. League Commissioner Kathy Engelbert expressed her goal of having at least 16 teams by 2028. Currently, the league includes 14 teams, incorporating the Valkyries and Tempo. Various celebrities have shown interest in establishing franchises in their respective cities. Patrick Mahomes, quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs, is reportedly seeking to introduce a team in Kansas City, while NBA champion Jason Tatum is rumored to wish for a team in his hometown of St. Louis. Next year, the PA Chamber's annual Women in Business Conference will feature WNBA star Caitlin Clark as the keynote speaker. The former star from Iowa University and the #1 overall draft pick made a significant impact on the women's professional league in her first season with the Indiana Fever, receiving WNBA Rookie of the Year honors, first-team All-WNBA recognition, and a selection for the league's All-Star Game. She will be the primary speaker at the PA Chamber event, set to take place on April 3rd at the Lancaster Marriott and Convention Center. Caitlin Clark is a world-class athlete and leader who inspires generations of fans, thanks to her exceptional athletic skills and team-oriented approach, stated PA Chamber President and CEO Luke Bernstein. "We're thrilled to host her at our Women in Business Conference to discuss her basketball career, business ventures, and more, while emphasizing her charitable effort. Beyond the court, Clark is impacting youth through the Caitlin Clark Foundation, which emphasizes empowerment through education, nutrition, and sports, the essential elements of her success." The Chamber highlighted that her unyielding drive for excellence surpasses both sports and business, as she remains dedicated to creating lasting change within and beyond the game. The Chamber indicated that more speakers for the event will be announced shortly. Throughout this all-day event, attendees will engage with inspiring leaders, build meaningful connections, and learn how to leverage their unique talents. The intention is for participants to gain insights and confidence to reach new levels in their personal and professional endeavors. Registration and sponsorship opportunities are currently available and are anticipated to fill up rapidly. Visit www.pachamber.org/womeninbusiness or contact PA Chamber Director of Events and Engagement Una Burke-Johnson at johnson@pachamber.org to reserve your place today. The champagne hadn't even dried after the New York Liberty won the WNBA championship when the Players Association announced it would withdraw from the league's collective bargaining agreement, which is set to expire in 2027. A significant rise in revenues, mainly due to the emergence of Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark and other star rookies, led the players to realize they are not receiving what they consider to be a fair share. The CBA will now conclude after the 2025 season, disrupting a pay structure that set average salaries around $120,000, with rookie minimums at $64,154 and veteran maximums at $241,984. Clark's 4-year rookie contract under the CBA was valued at $338,056, including $76,535 in 2024, figures that are disproportionately low considering the revenue she helped generate. Clark shattered nearly every WNBA rookie record, but her off-the-court influence was even more remarkable. "The figures are so astonishing," stated Ryan Brewer, associate professor of finance at Indiana University Columbus, who was asked by the Indianapolis Star to evaluate Clark's financial impact. "They don't even appear real." The figures, as analyzed by Brewer. Clark was accountable for 26.5% of WNBA economic activity for the 2024 season, which includes attendance, merchandise sales, and television. 1 out of every 6 tickets sold at a WNBA arena is linked to Clark. Total WNBA TV viewership attributable to Clark increased by 300%, and 45% of the overall broadcast value stemmed from Fever games. WNBA merchandise sales surged by 500%, with Clark ranked number 1, followed by Chicago Sky rookie Angel Reese. The Fever's regular season attendance averaged a record 17,036 per game, and the team's total attendance of 340,715 also set a record. Clark's regular season games attracted an average of 1.2 million viewers, which was 200% higher than games she did not participate in. It is no surprise that the players opted out of the current CBA, with the Women's National Basketball Players Association clearly stating its position with a video on X that declared, "It's business. We're out." The WNBA struck a new media rights deal in July worth an estimated $200 million per year, more than 3 times the current agreement. However, a concern that will emerge during CBA negotiations is whether the increase in fan interest and revenue will persist or decline over time. This is why the WNBA media rights deal is minor compared to the NBA's new TV agreement with Disney, Comcast NBC, Peacock, and Amazon. These networks will broadcast the league's nationally televised games for 11 seasons starting in 2025-26, and the NBA will receive about $76 billion. Clark, on the other hand, is doing quite well financially despite her modest salary. Sportico released a list of the highest-paid female athletes on Wednesday, and Clark was ranked number 10, just behind Simone Biles. Clark, the only basketball player on the list, earned $11.1 million in 2024. Leading the list for the second consecutive year was tennis star Coco Gauff, who earned $30.4 million from prize money and endorsements. Endorsements constitute the majority of Clark's earnings. She receives $3.5 million annually from an 8-year agreement with Nike and also has contracts with Gatorade, Gainbridge, Hy-Vee, Xfinity, Wilson, Buick, and State Farm Insurance. According to Bloomberg, only 9.3% of league revenues, totaling $200 million in 2024, were allocated to player salaries, which amounts to less than $20 million. In contrast, NBA players receive 50% of their league's revenue, which in 2023 translated to $5.3 billion out of $10.6 billion. The WNBA has announced the 2025 schedule featuring significant modifications to its structure, including the launch of a new in-season tournament. The WNBA has revealed its 2025 schedule, preparing for a groundbreaking season where each team will play 44 games, the highest in the league's history. The announcement also emphasized an exciting mid-season award that stars like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese will compete for. Even though the 2025 season is still several months away, enthusiasm is growing as the WNBA rolls out its in-season tournament, the Commissioner's Cup, scheduled from June 1 to 17, culminating in a championship match on July 1. The regular season will pause to draw attention to this event. The league has confirmed that all intra-conference cup games will contribute to a team's regular season win-loss record. A substantial prize pool of $500,000, £392,000, awaits the champions of the tournament, and Coinbase, the Commissioner's Cup sponsor, will grant $5,000, £3, 92K, in cryptocurrency to each player in the championship match. This forthcoming edition will mark the 5th Commissioner's Cup since its launch in the 2021 season when the Seattle Storm defeated the Connecticut Sun. The subsequent champions include the Las Vegas Aces and the New York Liberty.